Assalamualaikum everyone, this is Dr. Abdul Rafi here again, back with the remaining coverage of the chapter Investment and Refractory Dyes. Today in this video we will discuss all about the gypsum bonded investment materials. Before the start of the topic, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe it so that you guys can be updated about the new videos.
We have three types of investment materials, that are gypsum bonded investment material, silica bonded investment material and phosphate bonded investment material. Today we will discuss about the gypsum bonded investment materials and then its contents, refractory material, binder, variable temperature and type of casting alloy which can be used with the gypsum bonded investment material. So now the gypsum bonded materials and its contents are silica, which is refractory material, calcium sulfate hemihydrate, powdered graphite or copper, and modifiers which are used to control setting, expansion and contraction. Now we will talk about the refractory material which is used in gypsum bonded investment material. Silica, as I mentioned earlier, is the refractory material used in this investment. Silica have three allotropic forms. Allotropic forms means that they have same chemical formula but they are arranged differently in physical manner. So three allotropic forms of silica are quartz, cristobalite and tridymite. Quartz undergoes inversion. Now what is inversion? I have explained it in the previous video. I have shared the link in the description. So quartz undergoes inversion at a temperature of 575 degrees centigrade. Keep this 575 degrees centigrade in the mind. From so-called low form means compact form or alpha quartz to the so-called high form or the more expanded form called the beta quartz. Cristobalite's inversion occurs at 210 degrees centigrade. Now keep this temperature again in your mind. So quartz undergoes inversion at 575 degrees centigrade and cristobalite undergoes at 210 degrees centigrade. As we can see that the cristobalite undergo inversion well before quartz, so it will have a greater expansion. So now look at this graph. In this graph we have temperature on x-axis and the expansions on the y-axis. This A represents the quartz. And now see that quartz undergo inversion. This indicates the inversion point. Quartz undergo inversion at 575 degrees centigrade, so it has this much time or tenure for the expansion till the almost 900 degrees centigrade. And in contrast, this is B, which represents cristobalite. Cristobalite undergoes inversion at 210 degrees centigrade. So it has this much time and tenure for the expansion. Now we can compare the tenure of the both of the refractory materials and we can see that cristobalite has a greater tenure for the expansion. So this is why cristobalite has a greater expansion. The expansion is probably due to the straightening of chemical bonds to form a less dense crystal structure. This phenomena is explained in the last video as well, and this phenomena is shown in this figure as well. The change is reversible. Both quartz and cristobalite revert back to low form on cooling. Suppose you heated both quartz and cristobalite, they undergoes inversion and change from alpha form to beta form, from alpha form to beta form, and then you allowed them to be cooled, so they will revert back from beta form to alpha form, from beta form to alpha form. Now the binder. Binder in gypsum bonded investment material is calcium sulfate dihydrate. Calcium sulfate dihydrate binds the refractory silica together. So now there are three types of expansions occur in investment materials: normal setting expansion, thermal expansion, and hygroscopic expansion. There are several techniques to perform hygroscopic expansion in investment material. The first technique is water immersion technique. In water immersion technique, what happens is the investment material is placed in water at initial setting stage simply, and the second technique is water added technique. In water added technique, a measured volume of water is placed on the upper surface of the investment within the casting ring. It will help the investment to undergo hygroscopic expansion. And thirdly, what we do is lining of casting ring with a layer of damp asbestos. Now the asbestos liner is not used because of its side effect. Instead of asbestos, cellulose casting ring liner is now used to promote hygroscopic expansion in investment materials. Now I am going to explain you guys the mechanism how hygroscopic expansion occurs. Suppose these are the dihydrate crystals. These four are the dihydrate crystals, and there is a space between them. In these spaces, water is incorporated, and then what happens is water creates space between the dihydrate crystals. So that is how hygroscopic expansion works. As we heat the investment material to higher temperatures, what happens is in gypsum bonded investment material, the water of crystallization evaporates, and at 320 degrees centigrade a significant contraction occurs, which can be reduced by sodium chloride and boric acid. Now there are three types of gypsum bonded investment materials. Type 1 is thermal expansion for casting inlays and crowns. Type 2 is hygroscopic expansion used for casting inlays and crowns. Type 3 for casting complete and partial dentures. Do memorize them for the OSPI point of view. Now in the end, type of casting alloy used for gypsum bonded investment material is gold alloys. It requires maximum temperature of 900 to 1000 degrees centigrade.